This is Late Night Health. This is the radio show that cares about the most important part of your life, your health. I'm Mark Alyn, along with the insane Daryl Wayne, and we are going to spend 2 hours talking about issues that affect each and every one of us, from being afraid of death to talking about diabetes. We'll be talking about diabetes in about 30 minutes with Marvin Cummings, the president of the diabetesavoidance.com company. It's a new company. It's about a year old, and Marvin is 86 years old. It's a nonprofit. He'll be asking you to make a contribution. We'll talk about that in about 30 minutes from now here on Late Night Health. We go now to our friend and contributor, Rick Olderman. He is the author of Fixing You Back Pain, among other Fixing You books, from Denver, Colorado. Hello, Rick.
Hi, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. And we also have, from my neck of the woods, a regular listener, Chaim, who has some back issues. And what we've been doing over the last few weeks, Rick has been giving some recommendations to listeners who have called in, and we are trying to fix their backs. That's the purpose, right, Rick?
Yes, it is.
So we're going to talk to Chaim. You're a young guy, and how old are you, Chaim?
I'm 39 years old.
Yeah, I've got socks older than you, Chaim. So you're a young guy, but you still have a...
You're an old guy.
Yeah, thanks. I am an old guy. I feel like an old guy. This week is my birthday. It's my birthday week.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. So you have a back issue. My understanding is you drive quite a bit, and that's one of the issues that you have is while you drive, your back hurts?
Yes, it's not really the back. It's sciatica, which I understand comes from the back, as lower back pinching. It's down my right thigh.
Wow. Rick, is driving an issue? I mean, I drove 115 miles twice on Monday of this week, and my back was sore. I didn't get out on the way back. I got out on the way there once. I did a little stretching, but sitting in a car, is that rough on anybody?
Oh yeah, it's a tough posture to be in, and one reason is because most cars have bucket seats, which kind of curls us in to this shortened position. But another thing that also happens is that most roads have a grade to them, so that the road is usually between 4 and 11 degrees of a grade, so that the car is kind of sitting at a slight angle, and that's so water can wash off the road, which then creates a little bit of asymmetry in how we're sitting in the car as well.
My first car was a 1957 Ford. It had a bench seat. And I remember being able to cuddle with a young lady on a date, okay? Just like the movie, help me out, Daryl.
Which one?
Which one? Yeah.
There was a lot of them.
There were.
You're talking about every movie with a drive-in involved?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was it. Every movie with a drive. But there was a bench seat. Were bench seats better for our backs than the bucket seats we all have now?
Well, I think in some ways, yes. There's just a lot of curling in of the legs and of the shoulders, and it seems to create some issues for a lot of people. I used to have a bench seat car not long ago, and I always thought it was quite comfortable. And
you don't have a bench seat car now? I thought all cars.
No, I do not. Thanks to my wife.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know cars were made without bench seats these days. I mean, bucket seats.
No, this was an old car.
Oh, okay, that does it. What about trucks? Do trucks have bucket seats, guys? I think some do, some don't. Okay.
A lot of them do. The more commercial ones seem to not. But anyway, so with Chiam, with the sciatic pain and driving, what happens a lot of times is that we end up weight bearing more on one hip than the other. And there's a lot of different kinds of changes that happen in both the pelvis and the low back when we do this. And so, I'm looking forward to seeing him. I think we have our Skype session set up for this Friday, our first one.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing what his pelvis and back look like, so I can understand what might be happening in that car, and then we can go forward from there. But typically, car driving's tough because it sets up asymmetrical sitting patterns in our bodies, and then our bodies, because especially if we're sitting in that position for so long, the bodies just kind of get stuck there. Muscles start to contract around that position and hold it there for a while.
So if you're a long-distance truck driver, and we do have those in our audience, would stopping every 50 miles or 100 miles and getting out and walking around the truck help?
Yeah, it would help, but I think it's a little unrealistic. So, because especially those guys are, they're on long hauls. They don't, stopping every 100 miles would be, pretty frequent. They've got to make some good time. So, it's similar to sleeping. I always tell people, the bed matters less if the body that you're bringing to bed really is in a good condition and everything's working well. And the same thing goes for driving. If the body that you're bringing to the car is in a better condition and balanced out, then the driving won't be bothering you quite so much.
I know that the other thing that I think about with long-distance truck drivers is prostate. I mean, they got to stop to pee sometime, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Maybe they can go 500 miles. I don't know that I can or not. But that's your next book, fixing you prostate.
I'm not sure if I'm qualified to write that one.
Got it. Our guest is Rick Olderman. He is a physical therapist and a certified personal trainer, and he's helping our guest Chaim to alleviate the pain from driving. Chaim, do you have pain in other parts of your back at other times, or is it usually found while you're driving?
Well, it's interesting. Just from the first conversations I had with Rick over the phone, he gave me insight. I have like 2 years ago, a shoulder injury, I guess you can call it. It wasn't serious, but I pulled something in the muscle there, and 2.5 years later, I still feel it. And even before that, once he gave me a certain insight, I realized also that my right foot, when I did start doing walking a couple of years ago, as on a regular basis, I got plantar fasciitis. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, which is just really pain in the bottom of your foot, and also on my right foot. And he pointed out that, hey, that's all on your right side. And he sent me his book, and I'm reading it, and that's fascinating to just have that insight that this is something that has to do with not about the sciatica, not about the driving. It's about fixing the whole posture. In other words, from growing up, probably there's certain muscles that are being used to hold up my back and walk that are not necessarily the right one, and there's a better way to do it.
And Rick is going to, and Rick will,
the issues.
I'm
really
Rick is
looking forward to working with Rick.
Got it, Daryl.
Well, I was going to comment that when I find myself in back pain driving, it's usually because I've left my wallet in my back pocket. Not that it's that thick with abundance, but it just sets me off to one side or the other and hurts. So,
Rick, is that a good thing to do, to take your wallet out of your back pocket?
Yeah, I think it's one of the things that you can do to help decrease the sensitivity to it. But the wallet in the back pocket typically isn't the thing that's actually causing the pain. That's just one of the things that's aggravating the pain. So like Chaim was saying, he had plantar fasciitis in his right foot. Then he has also right shoulder issues. He has right sciatica issues. So clearly there's something going on with a larger pattern of issues with his body than just the sciatic pain. And so, putting a wallet, especially in that right side, is going to be painful because the side is already activated and sensitive. So, you want to remove wallets and things like that. They create more pressure on the area that's causing pain.
And Chaim, do you carry your wallet in your back pocket?
No, front pocket, or not, or I take it out.
You sound like you come from New York, so that's that's protection. It wasn't for paint protection. It was for,
I guess, yeah,
life protection.
I grew up in the hood.
You grew up in the hood. Our guest is Rick Olderman, the author of Fixing You Back Pain. You can check out Rick, by the way, at latenighthealth.com. Latenighthealth.com. Rick has a bunch of different websites. Which one do you want to send people to, Rick?
The fixingyouBooks.com is the best one if they're interested in looking at the books and other stuff I have.
Gotcha. We're going to take a time out. When we come back, I want to talk more about driving and what we can do. Chaim, you're welcome to hang out here with us too, all right? And maybe you'll pick up some additional tips. I'm Mark Alyn. Late Night Health continues. During the last half hour of the first hour of Late Night Health, we'll be talking about the diabetesavoidance.com program that Marvin Cummings is setting up here in Southern California. But diabetes is taking the country by storm, so Marvin is going to share his knowledge about that coming up in about 15 minutes from now. I'm Mark Alyn. Don't go away. More coming up. Join us at facebook.com/latenighthealth. That's facebook.com/latenighthealth.